Hi, and welcome to the Stay Blessed podcast with your host with Dare to Do Motivation. A place where we discuss motivational things, inspirational things, spiritual things, but above all, we talk about everything and anyone. So if you want me to discuss on my own or in the future with guests, if there is any topic you are interested in, let me know in the comments below, and I will try and make it happen. So thanks for tuning in, and just get yourself comfortable. If you're in a car, then enjoy the ride. If you're at home, put your feet up, relax, and enjoy the podcast. So I thought today I'm going to talk about some of my videos, which I have on my Dare to Do Motivation channel. And let me see. I'll play some snippets of the videos that I'll discuss with the original audio. So yeah, we can talk about it. Let me just choose one for you. I'll take the one the most favorable one in the last month. The video with the most views I had last month was a short story to put a smile on your face. Yeah. So this story is if you're feeling helpless, anxious, nervous, depressed, or sad, then watch this story and maybe it will put a little smile on your face. So let's get into it.
Once upon a time, there was a person coming to a new village, relocating, and he was wondering if he would like it there. So he went to a Zen master and asked, "Do you think I will like it in this village? Are the people nice?"
So yeah, this is the story where a young man, he comes into a new village. He decides that he wants a change of scenery. He's had enough of his old town, and he's like, okay, F this place, I'm going to another, and I'll try my luck in a new place. And how many of us have had this in our lives? Everything and everyone in our hometown it's getting too much. It just feels like the roof is falling over on our head, and we're looking for something new, a fresh start. Maybe you've borrowed money from everyone you know, and everyone wants their money back, and there's no one left to ask for money. And you're in a bad financial situation, to put it mildly, and you think, okay, I'll go to a new town, to a new place. I'll be a better person there, and I'll try my luck. So our main protagonist, he decides to check out a new place because something wasn't right in his old town. And because him being a spiritual person, maybe, not saying that he's a good or bad person, but just being a spiritual person, he wants to consult the local Zen master. So he goes to the Zen master and says, "Hey, Zen master, before I settle here, tell me what the people are like. I don't want to have the same people I had in my own town, in my hometown, because I didn't get along with them, and it just didn't work out for me. So what am I expecting here?"
The master asked back, "How were the people in the town where you came from?" "They were nasty and greedy. They were angry and lived for cheating and stealing," said the newcomer.
So yeah, the newcomer says, the people in my old town, they were like jerks. They tried to rip me off all the time. They were abusive. They were cheating. They were greedy. And I'm not like that. I'm different. That's why I'm looking for a place where the people are more like me, where I'll fit in better. And here's what the master says.
"Those are exactly the type of people we have in this village," said the master. A day later.
So yeah, the Zen master, being a Zen master, he knows that if you run away from your problems are a part of you, no matter where you go. You can move from China to New York. You can move from an African village to Europe. Most of the time, your character flaws will allow the situations and problems which you face in your life, and they will follow you. They will follow you wherever you go, because people are the same everywhere. We're all humans, and we're the same, no matter if you live in the biggest city in the world or the smallest rural village without internet access. People are always the same. And so the way you interact with people, at the end of the day, you will have the same people around you again. You will have the same people that don't like you or that you don't like. You will have the same people trying to take advantage. You will have the same people trying to rip you off. And it's just a reflection of how you live your life or how you really are. If people try to rip you off, it doesn't say that you're a bad person, but to a certain degree, you are allowing those people to rip you off. There's this famous saying, you cannot cheat an honest man. Because if we get ripped off or cheated, to a certain degree, we know that we are getting cheated or we are getting ripped off. But we are afraid to confront ourselves with what is happening. And we duck. And so we are partly responsible for that. So basically the Zen master understands. This guy is coming to our village. He's got a ton of baggage with him. He's got problems. He had issues. He says everyone is greedy. Everyone is trying to cheat him. And he's just the kind of person, the Zen master sees him as someone who doesn't take responsibility. It's everyone else's fault, but it's not mine. You see that with a lot of politicians these days. They promise the world, they promise the moon once they get voted into office. No, because it didn't work out because they did that or because of his fault or her fault. They don't take responsibility. If things go well, they take the credit. If things don't go so well, they brush it off to everyone else. So the Zen master understands that this guy, he's not ready to move to another town because he will just import the problems he was running from. He will import it to the new town. So he tells him, yeah, maybe look for another place because this isn't the place for you. You won't be happy here because it is you that has to change, not the place where you live. Okay, these steps is my dog. He's coming to my office. Hey, doggy.
Another newcomer to the village visited the master and asked the same question. To which the master asked, "How were the people in the town where you come from?" "They were sweet and lived in harmony. They cared for one another and for the land. They respected each other, and they were seekers of spirit," he replied. "Well, those are exactly the type of people we have in this village," said the master.
So yeah, another guy comes the next day, and he's also on the move. He's on the move, but he's a different kind of person. You could say that he is enlightened, or maybe not enlightened, but he has got a different perspective to the town or village where he came from. So the Zen master asks him the same question as he did the first guy. He says, how are the people in your town? Because the new guy wants to know how the people are in this town. So the Zen master asks him, so how are the people in the place where you come from? And he's full of bliss, and he can only say the best things about the people in his town. And that reflects him. That reflects in him. That reflects the person that he is. Because he knows that no one is perfect. He knows that in every village, in every town, there are people who cheat and lie. That is just basic human nature. And maybe he even comes from the same village. Who knows? But the point being is, even if he has bad things to say about his old place, he says good stuff about the people. That means two things. Number one, he sees the good in people. So maybe someone cheated on him. Maybe someone tried to rip him off. Maybe someone was greedy towards him. But he decides to see the good in that person. Every one of us has good and bad inside of us, and it's about what you choose to see. Some people choose to see only the bad traits in other people, which we all have. We all have bad traits. And other people maybe not ignore those bad traits, but they don't see them so brightly as they see the good traits, the good characteristics that people have. And so the Zen master now knows two things. He knows, first of all, this guy doesn't talk bad about the place he came from. He doesn't talk bad about the people that he grew up with. And that shows character. That shows, okay, he's basically a guy you can trust. He's a good guy. And the other thing is, he doesn't brush off responsibility. He says, here I am. Yeah, that's fine. The people from the place where I came from, they were good people. Maybe they were jerks, but they were good jerks. And he knows that guy's, he's got a certain, let's say, he's got a certain emotional maturity. And that is what it is all about, really. Your emotional maturity, how you react to people treating you, how you listen to your feelings, and how you know how much you can control your emotions, that you are in control, and that you decide what is. And that says that you're an emotional stable person, and that you have reached a level of emotional maturity. Not waiting for a disaster to happen so you can moan about it, but instead you ignore the disaster and you go on with life in a good way. Yeah, go on saying whatever you see in the world will see in you. And that, in my experience, that's just how it is. That's just what it is. Whatever you see in the world will see in you, and whatever you see in the world is a reflection of who and how you are, to a certain degree. So yeah, try just walking on the street, just walking outside and going shopping, and see how you behave preactively. If you walk around with a smile and light and easy steps, if you ignore your problems and still enjoy life, or if you always emotionally and mentally put your finger on all of your wounds so that it hurts, and make sure that the whole world sees the pain in your eyes. And people won't want to have anything to do with you, because we all have our problems, we all have our struggles, we all have personal disasters and pain in our life. We've all lost loved ones. We've all had problems. That is just the way of life. But how you carry yourself through these bad patches in your life, that defines you. And that how you see the world, that you still have an optimistic outcome, and that you show your best side always, and that you smile. I mean, that's how you live a happy life. In the end, I guess. So whatever you see in the world will see in you. I really like that sentence. I think I should hang it up on my wall. So yeah, if you only see the nasty and greedy part, that is what they will see in you too. And another nice sentence. I don't know if I read it somewhere or if I came up with it myself. It would also make for a good sign on a wall. Be good to the world, and the world will be good to you. It's karma, and eventually it will come back to you. Be good to the world, and the world will be good to you. Remember that, people. That is maybe the simplest rule you can have in life. Yeah, so that is the story called A Short Story to Put a Smile on Your Face, which I had 421,000 views within 3 weeks. So I guess it was very popular, and I think if I have a video with a lot of views, I think definitely the thumbnail, people click on it because of the thumbnail and the title. But the other thing is YouTube recommends videos when people look at it for a long time. So if I have a 5-minute video and people click on it and click away after 10 seconds, it will gradually fade away from the YouTube recommended list. So you and he and she and her, they won't see it on their phone or on their computer when they're just randomly scrolling through YouTube. So if people look at the video for a long time, the YouTube algorithm understands that, hey, people like this video, it's interesting, and it's got something for them, and so it recommends the videos further. So the only reason I have 421,000 views in 3 weeks, which is pretty good, is because people clicked on it, but then didn't click away from it. And so I guess people can relate to that everyone's been to another place, maybe for traveling or moving, and everyone has changed schools, has changed their job, and you always have the same people. If you go to a new school, to a new office, to a new job, to a new town, you always have the guy you don't like, you always have the charming guy, you always have the girl neighbor who you like, and so on and so on. So basically it's a theater of life, and the stage, although the stage is always different, completely different, you always have the same actors playing the same parts. And you can decide which part you want to play, and you can decide every time how you react to the other actors on this stage, theater stage of life. Yeah, these are my 2 cents onto this story. I just want to say that I don't write these stories. I started my channel as a motivational channel and then gradually moved on to storytelling because I figured out not a lot of people were doing it on YouTube. And you can often convey a message or motivation through a story. Because number one, you remember it. And number 2, you can relate to it more easily. And number 3, it's not as condescending, or it's not like the same motivational video over and over again. So people like the stories. Everyone likes a good story, I guess. So that was today's discussion of a video. So maybe I'll do it every week. And sorry, by the way, I haven't posted a podcast for the last 2 weeks because I was busy. And as you have noticed, I have moved my podcast to a separate channel, the Stay Blessed channel, because people expect stories and motivational stuff on my old channel, on Dare to Do Motivation, but maybe not so much podcasts. So I just thought I'll try and separate them. Let's see how it works. If it doesn't work, maybe I'll put it back again on Dare to Do Motivation. But I'll definitely leave the link below for my main channel, Dare to Do. Yeah, just check it out. So maybe I'll try and do a podcast every week, and I'll try to discuss maybe the video with the most views of that week. I'll discuss in every episode of the Stay Blessed podcast. So that was the discussion of the video this week. The video is a short story to put a smile on your face. I'll also put the link down below. And yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, please check it out. It's a nice little story, and we all can relate to it, I think. So let's move on. Next subject. So let's talk about let's stay in the same lane as in moving schools, changing schools, getting a new job, getting a new partner in life, moving homes, moving a flat. So every change at the beginning is always challenging, and the challenge makes it exciting, and exciting makes it 99% of the time makes it a positive experience. Usually the bad parts and the boring stuff maybe comes later, but everything new is good. It means that you move on, you evolve in life, you're not stuck. I mean, you shouldn't run away from things, but sometimes it is necessary to move to a new city, to go to a different school, or to start a new job, because this is your growth level, and you're on your journey for your personal growth. And that is why life is change, and change is everything. If you don't change and don't evolve, it's like death. That is like death, because if you have the same old routine, your life will be gone so fast. You'll wake up one day and you'll be old, and your whole life you had Groundhog Day, really. Every day was the same. So make sure you grow in your life. You change, you evolve, and learn as much as you can. I hear so many people that say, I don't want things to change. I don't want my life to change. A good friend of mine always said, I don't want life to change. I hate change. And he's wrong in my opinion. And he hasn't evolved at all in the last 10, 15 years. He has been stuck in his old same behavior patterns while the world around has changed and has evolved. And as a part of that, he's become lonely, and he's stuck in an island of wanting the time to change and wanting nothing to change. But that is not possible. That is not how life is. I mean, 2-3 years can be... A lot can happen for some people in 2-3 years. And for some people, nothing happens, nothing changes. And they can't believe that 3 years have passed. And then you see someone you haven't seen for 3 years, and that person is just completely a different person, and he's done this and that, and he's moved on, and you're still the same old. Maybe that's the realization for people that they say, hey, what's going on in my life? I haven't changed, I haven't done anything, it's just the same old. And here's the thing with time. Time moves on. It doesn't have understanding for you. It's not like your parents that say, okay, we understand you, we understand your problems, your troubles. Time isn't like that. Time is relentless. It doesn't care. It doesn't care if you are depressed and you're not in the mood to do things for 2 years or 3 years. It doesn't care if you're an alcoholic and you drink and waste your life away. Time doesn't care. Because one day you will wake up and you say, okay, I'm deciding to be this different person now. I'm deciding to conquer my life. And I hope you do it sooner than later, because time doesn't care. Maybe you'll wake up one day and you're in your 50s, 60s, and suddenly you want to explore life. You want to do this and that. It's never too late. But if you have the chance to do it while you're young or younger, then do it. Because time doesn't care for your personal problems, for whatever. Time doesn't care for any of us. Time goes on, and we better catch up with time. Because we're all on this planet just for a limited time before our journey goes on to somewhere else. So, yeah, that's that. So don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid of trying out new things, getting to know new people in life, and trying to evolve as a person. And that is, if you're able to do that, in my opinion, you are living in the now. You are living in the present. You're not living... People who don't want anything to change, usually, they live in the past. They make the past their present. And people who live in the present all the time, they make their present the future. It's a present to themselves. It's a present to yourself. If you live in the present, then you present yourself the future. in a good way. So that means that you are with time. I'm not saying that you should change all the time because that's the way you go on in life. No, I'm just saying live in the now and don't get stuck in a life which you are uncomfortable with, or if you don't like certain aspects of that life, change it today. If you don't like the way you are out of shape, if you don't like the way you are overweight, change it today. Start today. We have all the information in the world over the internet. You can learn everything online, everything. So if you're overweight, if you want to change your physique, start today. Just do a little bit every day, and in 1 year you'll be a different person. And don't give away the responsibility for your life to anyone or anything else. Especially with this information that we have free. There's no excuse for you to give away the responsibility of your life. Because people say, no, I couldn't do this the last 10 years because of my parents, because of my partner, because of my job. No. Then you're just like that guy who moves into town and says, the people in my town were cheaters and losers and greedy. You're pushing away the responsibility over your life to someone or something else. And don't do that. Take responsibility for everything. You have a problem, think about it, try to solve it. If you can't solve it, concentrate on your dreams and on the life that you want to live. So that's the way I see it. Anyway. Yeah, and I think I'll wrap it up for today, for this podcast, the Stay Blessed podcast. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed to my Stay Blessed channel, please do. Maybe share the video so people can see that I'm doing podcasts now. And yeah, just take care of yourselves and believe in yourself. And don't be afraid of change in your life. And don't be afraid of tackling your problems head on. And don't be afraid of anything really. So yeah, thanks for watching and stay blessed.